Yo, how's it going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Third video of the day. If you guys appreciate the hard work, I would appreciate a like, a comment, and even maybe consider subscribing to the channel. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Della Maddalena. Apparently, there's word on the street that he might be fighting the boogeyman of the welterweight division, and that is Shavkat Rakhmonov, which in my opinion, I feel like that is a very, very dangerous fight for him, and we're going to go over that very quickly. But before we do, let's go ahead and talk about his performance against Gilbert Burns so we could get a better understanding of his real chances of beating Shavkat Rakhmonov. So watching Gilbert Burns versus Della Maddalena gave us a pretty good insight on where Della Maddalena is right now currently as an MMA fighter and his trajectory at potentially fighting for the belt one day. And I will say this, I think that Della Maddalena right now is a fighter who is more mechanically inclined than he is a fighter with a high fight IQ. And I'm just being completely honest, because I think that Della Maddalena is a fighter that's obviously a standout when it comes to his boxing. Like, we see him get in positions that are dominant in where he likes to be in range to land some of his boxing combinations. But I will say this, I think that he also finds himself in positions where it's on the weaker side when it comes to grappling and wrestling. Now, in the second round, I felt like the fight could have ended with Gilbert Burns beating Della Maddalena with a submission. If the round would have gone, for a little longer, maybe 15-30 seconds, I think we would have seen Gilbert Burns probably take the win. But of course, that's not the case. We saw Della Maddalena land a knee on Gilbert Burns. Now, I'm not going to say that that was a lucky knee, but all I'm going to say is that if we saw Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns fight 10 times, I feel like it would be 5-5. And that's just me being completely honest. Now, look, I'm not going to say that Della Maddalena doesn't have good chances of beating Shavkat Rakhmonov, but in my opinion, I feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov has faced fighters with more versatility and fighters that have a wider range of a system when it comes to their striking. Fighters like, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson come into mind, where I feel like they do a better job at managing range, and they have a lot more tools right in their bag that they're able to pretty much just land strikes. And I'll be pretty honest with you guys. I feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov is probably gonna derail Della Maddalena right now, currently as we speak. Like I said, I feel like Della Maddalena is a good fighter, right, with a decent IQ, but I feel like he's more mechanically inclined than he is to, approach a fight in the 50-50 where he is just going to use his fight IQ to win over a fight. And against Shavkat Rakhmonov, that's exactly what you need. And I feel like Della Maddalena fighting Gilbert Burns pretty much just showed that he is missing something when it comes to positioning, and that has a lot to do with decision making. Della Maddalena, in my opinion, right now does not have what it takes to compete against Shavkat Rakhmonov. If Shavkat Rakhmonov was in some of the positions that Gilbert Burns was in, I feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov could do a lot more in those grappling and wrestling positions. And if I'm just being completely freaking honest, I feel like Della Maddalena right now, currently as we speak, should be doing a whole lot of film studying and should be adding some things to his bag if he wants to have a good enough chance to beat the boogeyman of the division, and that is Shavkat Rakhmonov. And like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with his decision making, when, why, and how he's going to land strikes if he wants to continue striking as a base in MMA. But that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I know that there's a lot of people right now saying that, Shavkat Rakhmonov is going to be the next fighter to fight Leon Edwards, and he's probably not going to fight Della Maddalena, but I disagree. I feel like Shavkat Rakhmonov is probably a fight away from fighting for the title, given the fact that he's not a huge name, and why not fight a prospect? Why not have a dominant performance against a prospect? I feel like that is probably the fight that we're going to see next. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, it's a pleasure talking to each and every single one of you guys. Peace out and have a good one.